Colossus is a known character in the Marvel Universe, and what makes him tricky to handle in the CG world is that he is shiny.
Whoa! Because he's made completely out of a metallic surface, we also have to do these reflection passes in the environment. Whenever we finish shooting our Colossus motion capture actor, we end up going in and we shoot clean plates, which just allow us to have all the information that we need for when Colossus moves around. And then we also shoot reflective gray balls and reflective silver balls that allows the visual effects artist to understand where all the lighting sources are coming from. And then on top of that, we shoot HDRIs with a still camera. And so we'll go in and they'll set up a still camera and they'll shoot all these panoramic passes at multiple exposures. And those are to have reflection information so that when the visual effects artists put the sort of chrome body onto Colossus, they use that HDRI information along with their reflection passes to get sort of all of that mapping of the environment around him, because he's essentially a giant mirror that moves around. And that allows Jonathan and our sort of VFX team to make this seamless transition into this metallic person that moves like a human and acts like a human, but has this very otherworldly form.
For a second there, it felt like we were three mini-lion robots coming together to form one super robot.
Part of the comic that people love and I've always loved is that he references pop culture. He is like a aficionado of pop music, movies, TV, other comic books, his own comic book. And that was something that was really important to all of us to capture in the film.
Deadpool has kind of like an unlimited pop culture canon at his disposal at any moment. And I think that's what makes him interesting for me.
Don't make the same mistakes I did. Got it?
Yeah.
Or else the whole world tastes like Mama June after hot yoga.
There's not a specific rule about what are the things that he refers to. They are just things that just feel like Deadpool.
Nice to see you, Jared. I'll take a foot long.
He loves and hates pretty much everything, and it's a huge part of the way he sees the world and the way he speaks about the world.
And that is why, in my opinion, the movie Cocoon is pure pornography.
From the very beginning, Tim had some strong ideas about how he wanted to see Deadpool's world, and he wanted to stay away from the usual superhero comics where they've always been kind of slick and glossy and hyper-tech and very hyper-stylized.
In our initial discussions, Tim and I said that it was very important that it felt like this world that Deadpool lives in is this sort of grimy, overcast environment.
Instead of having to build these really big elaborate sets, we just sort of went into the downtrodden, industrial, gritty parts of Vancouver and made it sort of fit the story that we're trying to tell.
When it comes time to licking wounds, there's no place like home.
Deadpool's apartment should be on Hoarders, you know, because he's got everything in there.
Deadpool's lair was interesting. It was an extension of his character. He had to kind of represent who he was, what kind of went on in his mind and his psyche, and kind of represent his kind of dual nature.
It's a little bit like Wade himself. It's overcrowded with tchotchkes, almost like his brain exploded onto the walls.
I would maybe describe it as crack house chic.
Which is like a really cool little like apartment hole somewhere. It's like a lot of like old WWE characters showing up here and there. A lot of guns, a lot of ammo. It's a pretty cool set.